All right, this video is for students showing you how to use Canvas. It is kind of like Google Classroom in that there will be assignments in there and grades and descriptions. So it may be one thing that your teacher uses either with Google Classroom or instead of Google Classroom. So the first thing you're going to want to do is open your browser. Now, normally I will paste the link into my Google Meet, and it's also in Google Classroom, but it's an easy link to type out. So you're going to do http colon and then slashes. Then Johnston, so because we're in Johnston County, so if this is if you're looking at this video from a different school, this URL is going to be different. Johnston dot then instructure.com, and then you're just going to hit enter. Now you can also go to the Johnston County website, click on students. Once you're here, you're going to click on student online connections. And I suppose you're going to use the class link login to log in. Normally, you would, once you click on this, you'll be able to get to the button that says Canvas. Once you're here, your username is going to be a number, a pretty long number. And it's normally on your schedule. It is not your lunch number. It is the same number you log into with PowerSchool. Your password should be, if you got on Canvas last year, if you got on PowerSchool last year, it will be the same. If your password does not work, you can contact any of your teachers and they can reset your password to a default password. You could also try the password reset. This will bring up those questions that you should have filled out. Either way will work. All right, once we get in, you should only see a few classes. I have a few social studies and other things in here, but you should only see the classes that go with the courses you're in. So let's say you might see my social studies class and maybe a science class. So we're going to go into my social studies class. Now I am going to go into student view. So that is not student view. All right. This is so I can see it the way you see it. All right. Oh, I'm in the wrong. It's going to go into the demo class. Let me go there. It has less in it. Okay. So I'm going in the demo class. And then now I'm going to go into student view. All right. So you would see this. So on this side, you've got the places that are important for you to go. All of your assignments will be under one of these either modules. They will be listed here. Your teacher will either have this scheduled for a specific day. You can look under it. Some will use announcements over here. There might be an extra thing that says announcements and put the lesson plan. It might be in Google Classroom. It might be in both. So you'll want to see what you need to do that day. For my class, my social studies class, we normally do these chapters while we are in class. So I will read them with you and I will help you answer the questions. So if you show up, it's pretty easy to get a decent grade. So let's do this one quickly just to see the bits and pieces of it. So I'll click on this chapter, and for me, this is a reading. Normally you'll see a due date. You will also see a available date. That's when you can go in and start doing it, and then a lock date. The lock date is when this closes. You will not be able to get in anymore. You can also see how many points things are, how many questions there are. In chapters, I allow unlimited attempts, so you can do this multiple times, but they do average. So you do not want to do this a lot. For me, I put at the top what you need to get for it to be a decent score. So on this, I set the score, and this is important, the kept score, because there will be a kept score and a current score. And you'll see that in a second, once I go through it. All right. Now, I'm going to go through this quickly. There's another video that tells you about this chapter. I'm just showing you how to use Canvas, not specific to this chapter. So you'll scroll to the bottom and click Take the Quiz. Now, this for me is a chapter, so this is classwork homework. It is not a quiz, but it's the only way we can put it in with multiple choice. So I'm going to quickly answer these because I know them. All right. And I'm actually going to get like one wrong. So let's say here, I'm going to pick that one instead. So once you're done, now you're going to click Submit. All right. On the right side, it tells you what you have. So I took this one time, so my current score is 9 out of 10. My kept score is 9 out of 10. I can take this quiz again, so I can click here. It also tells me the time, which I, as a teacher, will be looking at if you are submitting this. If you scroll down, you can see which ones you got incorrect. So then I know, okay, number 6 is one I have to look at again. So let's say I did get a 6 out of 10 instead, and I take the quiz again. This time I'm going to get them all right. All right, so here is where you can see over here. So my current score is 10 out of 10. I, as a teacher, will not be looking at this score. It doesn't matter to me. I care about this score. It has averaged the 9 out of 10 with the 10 out of 10 to be a 9.5. So this tells me how many, this averages it. As a teacher, and you can click on View Previous Attempts, so you can see what you got. You can look at your old one, and again, see what you got. Some teachers may disable this, so you cannot see it, depending on if it is a test or classwork, whatever it may be. And so this is kind of the basic parts. Now, if I want to see, if I have multiple chapters and I don't want to click through each chapter and I want to see the grades, I'm going to go on the left-hand side, click on grades. And this is going to pull up a list. So eventually this list is going to grow. You'll have more assignments in here. It'll tell you the kept score. It will tell you due date. It will tell you if it's late, it will be on here, and out of how many points. At the very bottom, this part tells you the total grades. So you'll want to pay attention to that. Here you can change if you want to go by assignment group. I normally like to have due date because that's the easiest way you can have them in order. The other thing you might want to, well, two things you might want to use is on the left-hand side, calendar. So when you have something on a due date, it will pop up on here. So I could, does that bring up anything? So if I click over here and click apply, no, it has to be in this course, I think. But if you click over here, sometimes you'll start getting a list of things that are due on certain dates, and that can help you figure out, hey, what's due, what's coming up. The inbox, you might get messages. This says it because I'm in student view, but the inbox, the teacher might send you messages about, hey, this is due, you need to get this turned in, you're missing this, and so forth. So that is something to pay attention to. And that is the basics. So that is the basics of getting into Canvas and using Canvas.